Welcome to NST Focus. I'm Patrick Winters, a member of the Northwest Senior Theater Group. I'm here to talk with Kane and Audrey Perino about their lives and the rules at NST. The two of you go back a long way together. When did you first meet?
Well, we grew up in the same town in New Jersey, just outside New York City, and dinosaurs had just stopped roaming the earth at that point. But we met in 7th grade dance class. Mandatory, had to go.
And despite the fact that Ken can't dance really at all,
I
they
cannot.
still made him go to dance class. But he and I, we met there, but we really didn't even associate there much at all. I was dancing with Tommy Burhan and won the Lindy contest, and you were, I don't know, trying your best. So it really wasn't until really more high school, but then we went to 8th grade together, and then we went all through high school together. So that's mostly when we became friends first, and then proceeded to date when we were seniors, pretty much.
Nice. And was it love at first sight or something else?
Heavens, no.
No. But it was friendship pretty much.
Yeah,
at
we were
first,
friends
right?
from pretty much the start, but mostly a shared interest at that point in time, and we worked on the school newspaper together.
Yeah.
And that was really where we sort of became more friendly and were doing something together rather than just seeing each other in the hallway in high school.
Right.
So, and he was mad because I got to be the editor, and they relegated him to the sports editor's job, which was your typical sexist response that the male had to be the sports editor, and anyway, so.
And now you've got a milestone coming up, right?
Yep.
Tell us about that.
We do. Well, let's see. May 22nd, we mark our 50th anniversary.
Wow, that's great. 50 years is a long time. What's your secret?
No pets, no kids.
Yeah.
And talk briefly about common and separate interests that you have.
Okay, well, I have been a musician since I was 18 months old in one way, shape, or form. But Ken has always been an aficionado of music, right?
Yeah, mostly singing in the shower.
Mostly singing in the shower. So we both have always been interested in music. We sort of both have always been interested in sports.
Yeah, that's true too.
Different, and then he likes to play golf, which I don't do. And I do some things, I do more musical things than he does. And so we have shared interests and also separate interests, which is what I think keeps it lively, because you don't always have to do everything together.
Yeah.
Even travel. We both like to travel, but we don't always travel together. We just both are coming off of separate vacations, which is sort of good in a cleansing sort of way.
Right, definitely.
Well, the two of you didn't diverge much from each other, except for separate colleges.
Right.
But your performing histories that you did, Audrey, you've always been concertizing.
Yes.
One way or another. Is that?
Yes, that's right.
Tell us about that.
So as I said, at 18 months old, my parents bought me a ukulele that played Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier. And so I started singing literally at 18 months. At 4, I was playing the piano. My father was a musician and taught me quite a bit. So from basically from the age of 4, I was doing some sort of music, mostly piano and singing. When I finally got to college, I was in a choir consistently from 1971 till about 1992 or 93. So all through college, sang with the New Mexico Symphony Orchestra, sang at the University of Memphis, sang here with the Portland Symphonic Choir and with the Oregon Symphony. And then I got tired of singing and I picked up the violin for about 20 years. And then after 20 years of the violin, I got tired of the violin. And that's when I kind of discovered Northwest Senior Theater and sort of transitioned from what was mostly a classical music background to more contemporary Broadway, the kinds of things we do at Northwest Senior Theater.
Ken, your amateur performing career kind of took a dead end for a few decades
Yes,
there.
it did.
But meanwhile, you were still out front in your own way. Tell us about that.
Yeah. We should mention one thing, and that is 8th grade.
Oh, we should do that.
Yeah, right? 7th grade, we met, dance class. 8th grade, we were teamed up in a talent show, and we sung our first duet of what has now become hundreds Back in 1967. Yeah, we sang stuff from Oklahoma,
All
right?
or Nothing from Oklahoma when we were 13 years old. So that was our very first duet, was we were 13 years old in 8th grade.
And I did I did some plays in school and at church and stuff like that. But basically, once I graduated high school, that took care of the performance bug. But it manifested itself professionally in a different way, in that I became a reporter. And I did radio, I did newspaper, I did TV. So I was your live shot reporter in Texas and in Tennessee for TV stations, and I was actually very briefly a weathercaster here at Channel 2. Again, dinosaurs had just stopped roaming the earth when I was doing weather at Channel 2. So there's a bit of performance involved with that, especially I was often the last story of the newscast guy, so I was the good news guy. So you got a little bit of shtick you could work with there. So that was that. But I didn't really get involved with NST until long after Audrey had started.
Right.
And she almost goaded me into doing it, because back in 2023, she had already been in NST for about 4 years at that point. And I had always been in the audience at that point. But they were starting a new show. She came home after the first rehearsal, looked at me, sort of dramatically flopped the song list on the kitchen table and said, "Pal, if you were ever to do a show for Northwest Senior Theater, this is it. Look at the song list."
Right.
And I looked at it and I went, "Oh, brother, I know all these songs." And I am, as you know, Patrick, even you know, I'm musically challenged. I can't read music. I'm not very good on harmony. I can carry a tune and I can carry a melody, right? So I'm looking at these songs. Some Enchanted Evening. Oh, I did that when I was 17 in high school. Other stuff that was familiar to me, Oklahoma. And I went, oh, I don't know. I think this is out of my system. Turned out it wasn't out of my system. And so I've been here ever since.
But you forget that the event that caused us to begin singing together after many, many, many years of not having sung together was the pandemic. We didn't have much going on. We decided to do a house concert. So on Zoom, we did a half an hour of duets. We invited everybody we knew. We did 5 different versions of it, and out there is video of us singing, maybe 8 or 10 songs in a half an hour to everybody we knew during the pandemic, because nobody had anything to do, so they were willing to sit there and listen to us.
Yeah, right.
And
captive audience.
Captive audience. And so that started it. I mean, it was really, without the pandemic, I don't know if you'd even be here.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true.
It was a time where we had the time to spend to rehearse and the time to perform and a captive audience. So that's really what did it.
Well, that was kind of my next question, was what changed in order to bring you two together to perform? And it sounds like it was COVID.
It was the pandemic. It was just...
She's the only person who actually thinks the pandemic was a great time of her life.
I love the pandemic. It was so wonderful. I just loved it. Anyway.
So I think you've kind of covered how you got involved in NST. Mm-hmm. But each of you also do behind the scenes and the work that you do with NST. Audrey, let's start with you. What you do behind the scenes.
So I'm the treasurer. So first thing I do is attempt to pay people and make sure that we're up to date on paying our bills, and also then taking the income that we get from selling tickets and making sure it's all accounted for appropriately. I'm sort of theoretically the assistant music director, because our music director can sometimes not always be here. And so I do quite a bit of gathering of music, sometimes gathering of the tracks that we rehearse to, and generally helping people along in the singing arena while we're rehearsing. So those are mostly the 2 things that I do. I'm on the board as a treasurer, so I also participate that way. But it's a great group, because everybody does something. Aside from being here performing, everybody does something.
And Ken?
Well, if people watch this podcast, they usually know I'm in Patrick's chair and I'm doing the interviewing. So it's a little different this time. But also, I have developed a couple of the shows we've done over the last couple of years, including the one that's coming up. And that's just sort of an expression of creativity that I like. I can't write music, can't read it, so you know I can't write it. But I can compile stuff. I'm a pretty good compiler, and I'm a good editor. So our shows, sometimes, usually it's a spring show, reflects something out of this warped brain, whatever it may be. You know, it was Dick Clark and Lawrence Welk last year. This year, it's a family show about families. There's even something clicking around for spring of 27. I don't know if we'll get there or not, but I'm always got something kicking around. And I work on the social media side of NST, so I do their website and YouTube and Facebook. And I'm also the program guy. So when they hand you a program, when you walk in the auditorium, my fingerprints are all over it, all over it.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the upcoming show, which is mothers and fathers and kids. Oh, my.
I love it. I love the way you said that.
Yeah.
Very Wizard of Oddish, which is the whole idea. Yeah, so I was conceiving what to do, and we knew we wanted to do a musical review, but this one's a little different. Usually, at least recently, we stay within a genre. So like in 23, we did a Broadway show. In 24, we did songs of the 60s, basically. Last year, it was a contrived, one-time battle of the bandstands between Lawrence Welk and Dick Clark. But so you can imagine the songs there were a lot of rock and roll and some easy listening pop music from mid-century. This time, using the construct of songs that are tied to families or family members. We really are going across genres this time. So there's country, there's rock and roll, there's Broadway, right? There's even one song that has not been published yet that we got performance rights to, which is very cool. Thank you, Cheyenne Jackson.
Thank you, Cheyenne Jackson.
But anyway, there's something for everyone in terms of musical style in this show. And another spin from what we've done lately, there are some songs that we are grabbing heartstrings. And we usually don't do that. Most of NST shows tend to be comedic in nature. This one has lots of comedy, but frankly, there are maybe 4 or 5 songs that might just make you cry. And what I'm really hoping for is that in people listening to this wide variety of songs, bunch of different emotions, that it's going to remind them of their family, whether their family is next to them or whether their family is long gone, or if they're across the country somewhere. So this show's a little more contemplative than the ones we've done lately. And I will be really paying attention to what the audience reaction is. I think it'll be good. I think they'll enjoy it.
Okay, Audrey.
Yeah.
As the assistant music director, how do you think the show is coming along?
Good question. I think it's coming along. We're still relatively early in the rehearsal process, and we still got quite a bit of time to pull it together. There's a lot of solos or smaller group numbers in this show, so I think they all need to be worked a little bit more. Some of the larger group numbers that are involve the entire cast, I think, are coming along quite well. And so it always works out. It always works out. It doesn't matter. And we've still got a good month or two, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
6 weeks almost get it. So I think it'll be great. I think it'll be good.
Hey, I think that the number you and I are doing together, Patrick,
you two are funny.
I think that's going to be great.
You two are very funny.
It's the first time that you and I have actually duetted together.
Yes.
And it's a song from the Fantastics, so it's not Broadway, it's off Broadway. And it's about 2 fathers talking about their kids. And
you sang it when you were 17
I
years old.
did. I was in the Fantastics back when it was still a relatively new show, back in 1971, and it was fun then. I was playing a part that I was 30 years too young to play. I was playing a father, right? And now we have come full circle. 50 years later, I'm playing a part where I'm 30 years too old, and it's the same part that I'm playing. So there you go. But anyway, you and I are having a ball with it. And then today, they added the dance element to it. Not for me, thank God. You're not going to see me dance. But the dance element really makes it pop. So that'll be fun.
Great. Well, I'm going to turn over the close to you, Ken, because that's what you usually do.
Okay. Well, we'll tell people all about the show. Mothers and fathers and kids, oh my! It's coming up May 6 to 9. That's during the week at Rise Church here in Tigard. We are recording this at Rise. It's at 2 o'clock every day. We are the Northwest Senior Theater. We don't want seniors out there driving at night, so we want you during the day, 2 o'clock. It's $10. It's a cheap ticket. You will have lots of fun. You'll even get to sing once or twice during the show. There is more information if you go to our website. Hopefully I've updated it recently. I think I have. It's NW Senior Theater, theater spelled RE, .org. Northwest Senior Theater.org. We also have a Facebook page, which is NST and Friends. And this podcast resides at our YouTube channel, so we also have that. It's just going to be fun. You know what? I think it's coming together well. When you conceive of something a year before you see it taking place, you're always worried. How is the birthing process going to go? I'm pretty upbeat about it. I think it's coming together well. We will entertain people, and we're going to make them think in ways they don't normally think at NST shows. So I think it'll be fun.
Well, thank you for joining us today with Ken and Audrey, and we look forward to seeing you at the show.